Hi guys, this is Ivy Cabin. We built this last year.
We did, yeah.
And we thought we'd give you a tour today, show you
around.
What worked, what didn't work, what we do next time.
Yeah.
So come, join us. Okay, so we're gonna start at the back of the building, which is my least favorite.
Why is it your least favorite, sweetheart?
These things, I can't handle this. In the spring, we're gonna...
What do you call this thing?
I don't know. So in the spring, we're going to wrap that up, like, and make a really cute little box, cedar box around them so you can't see it. But that's my critique.
So, well, we built the cabin in the spring. We installed the foundation, which are helical piles, like technopiles. We had a footprint to work with because we're constrained by the previous building that was sitting here. By code, we had to match the footprint. So we did that, but we changed the entire layout. But yeah, one of the fun things, or at the moment it was not so fun, was angling the building, choosing like the perspective, looking at the main window. We actually started installing the piles, which they're screw piles, and I think we got the first two in and then decided that the angle was wrong. So we had to pull one of them and reset everything. But I'm glad we did, because we wanted to kind of catch the view looking down the river to the Narrows, but also capture the cliff across the river. So yeah, there was that. So the cabin is finished in cedar, eastern white cedar, and that cedar came from a sawmill just about an hour from here in Cobden. And we went with local materials for all the accents and all the trim. The posts are also eastern white cedar. The big beam at the deck is a red pine, so we needed that by code for the strength of the wood. Did a cedar decking under the roof. So the triangle window up top, with respect to the angle of the roof, so the exterior angle is a 912, but the inside angle is a lower pitch. It's a 612. So when we designed the window, I had to choose whether I was going to align it to the exterior pitch, so the angle, if it was going to match the exterior pitch or the interior pitch. It made sense to match to the exterior pitch so that the cabin looks cohesive outside, but there was a compromise. So on the inside, when you look up, the angle of the window is different than the angle of the roof, and it was just something that I had to grapple with, and I think it works well, actually.
Okay, so this is our wood-fired hot tub, and we love it. It's definitely a guest favorite. It can be a little bit challenging with wood-fired because some people struggle to keep the fire going to get it lit. So we're figuring that out, you know, videos that we send our guests so that they can kind of maintain it on their own, because it's so magical having wood fired. You don't have the chemicals, and just the smell of the smoke and the crackling, it's like so beautiful, and the stars are so magical here too. So yeah, it's really special. We are going to build a privacy screen here in the spring. We just ran out of time, and then we're going to light up this forest with more twinkly lights, so it's just like pretty magical. So this is the kitchen of Ivy, and it's just little, it's cute. The cabinets are from IKEA, and the countertops are quartz countertop. I love the color of them. I really like that kind of darker muted gray, but something that I would change would be, we got like a matte porous countertop and it stains. There's stains on it already, so I would get the shiny quartz. I wouldn't do the matte finish again. This is a Majorcan tile, and I love it. It's my favorite tile. We've used it on 2 different buildings now. So yeah, it's cute. It's functional, you know. It's like, how do you work with small spaces and have a kitchen that's like a fully functional kitchen and people feel comfortable and like they have a lot of space, but also not take up too much room, because it's like precious real estate. Something about the decorations too, about decor. So we just try to use natural materials. Even our fly swatters, like, I want them to be cute. I always want to fill the cabins just with intentional items, whether it's foraged from outside or with wool or wood or handmade. I just feel like it's a personal touch. Like I hung this stick this morning and it's so cute. It's cost nothing, and it works with the premise for us here where we just want Anupaya to feel like you're a part of it. You know, we're not trying to hide from nature. We're not trying to make these like really sterile environments. We want it to be a part of it, and we think about that kind of every step from how we're building into how we're decorating, and then how our guests can experience the cabins when they're actually staying here. Our bathroom renovation is just cute. We're working with a small space, but we wanted beautiful tile, just really intentional choices, even just down to our artwork and Kleenex boxes. One of the things we wouldn't do again is this white tub surround made of quartz, and it wasn't cheap, and I chose white, and then we put it on and it just looked plain to me, like you can't even tell that it's a piece of quartz. So I probably would go with something with, you know, that looks a little bit more natural with those veins through it that really makes quartz stand out. But other than that, it's cute, it's functional. We love the heated floors. It's such a nice touch. It's so magical. You just want to like lay on it and never leave.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it is fun.
So we went with the ladder for the loft, and when we were doing the design layout, we contemplated putting a staircase, but because the cabin's not, you know, it's not excessively big, we figured this would be a fun way to minimize the use of space. And it's great, we had a local fabricator, welder, build it for us. And the only downside of it is that it's pretty steep, so it's not very accessible at all for, you know, for people that can't climb a ladder. So that, I think for the next build, we'll do a proper staircase. It'll be welded steel, so, you know, so similar aesthetic.
Yeah, it's so cute and it's quirky, but some people can feel a little bit intimidating going up and down a ladder, so we would change that next time. Come on up, come see the loft. This is our loft. It's cute, it's tiny, it works though. It gives us more heads and beds, which is helpful. People love it. It feels like a little hobbit house up here. What we would change would be probably higher ceilings next time, and we'd love to add skylights for the next build so people can kind of look at the stars when they're laying in bed. So it's really important to us that our guests have the best sleep they possibly can when they're staying at Anupaya. Right away when we bought this place, we knew one of the first things we were going to invest in was the best mattresses you could get. So all of our mattresses are organic. They are from a company called Obasan in Ottawa, Ontario. We love them so much. Family-run business. And yeah, so when our guests come, they just like, you know, snuggle into this like most delicious, restful sleep that they can possibly have. One of our favorite features of this cabin is the beam that we put in. So when we were designing the loft, we knew that we wanted to incorporate some white pine into the building. So we sought out to find a white pine beam, and it turns out that our good friends Brandon and Karina own Deep River Tree Services. Karina is filming right now. She's an amazing videographer, and she's literally holding the camera. Brandon, Karina's partner, offered to supply us with a beam. So we went to his lot and picked out a log, a giant white pine log, that met the dimension requirements structurally for the beam. He took me to his mill, and we milled this beam. So it's a beautiful white pine, locally cut from Deep River, and yeah, it's just beautiful. Brandon and Karina, they cut these giant old growth white pines when they need to be cut. You know, none of it goes to waste. So in the case of this beam, obviously, we got to take that lumber and mill it and put it, back into use, and this will last, forever.
So it's actually kind of crazy. Like years ago, 18 years ago, I remember asking Pete what he would do for a living if he could go back and start over. And I remember like so clearly he said he would be an architect or a carpenter, but he thought it was too late. So then fast forward almost 2 decades. And while he had help, he had a local carpenter help build it. And my little sister, who's an architect designer in Vancouver, she's got this creative project called Carol Concepts. She helped with the technical drawings. But mostly this building, like, this is Pete. And just in some roundabout way, in this like winding, unexpected way, while he's not an architect and he's not a carpenter, he is designing and building spaces. And it's just cool to see that, you know, and to witness him kind of grow and stumble and learn and just like create beauty and function. And it's really cool.
Just toss one of those. Yes.
Wow. So when Shannon and I bought this property 3-4 years ago, we bought an old fishing lodge, and there are 15 cabins, and they were all in various states of disrepair, basically. Some of them just straight up falling apart. So the cabin that was on this site, where Ivy Cabin sits now, was in rough shape. We were able to salvage it. Actually, we picked it up and moved it, which was quite an ordeal.
Which was
we used 2 front-end loaders with forks. I was in one, and
our
friend driving another one. So the thing is that we're renting 8 of the 15 cabins that are on the property. The remaining cabins still need to be either repaired or replaced. So Ivy really it's the first new build. But it won't be the last. So when we talk about the things that we want to do differently, it's very, real considerations for us, because we do want to make improvements as we go. That said, we got pretty, all the important elements I think we got right with this cabin, and that really was due to a lot of planning. So we took a lot of time to plan out this build. All the details. Shan is responsible for all the aesthetics, all the design elements, and I did all the structural and construction components. It's just a beautiful process. It was, it was a labor of love, and the end result is like, it's amazing to really manifest your dreams. And and so we have to, we have other dreams to manifest, other cabins, other elements to the business, but I just wanted to convey that, because it's
it feels cool, like to see something that you dreamed up, and to actually like complete it and get to the end of it and take the time. And Pete and I, like, we can struggle with that in business, not you so much, I think, but it's like we want to celebrate the things that we do. Like, we want to actually take a second to be like, well, we did that.
Yeah, it's easy to just pay attention to all the things that are yet to be done.
And we have so much, we have so much to do. Like, we have so far to go. We have so many renovations to still do. So it's so important to be like, whoa.
Yeah, take time to enjoy it and appreciate what we've accomplished.
Yeah,
so.
And oh my God, the animals
This
are
is a stampede out on the deck. Goats and it's a party. It's like a shindig.
So we've been in business together for so long, and we've made a lot of stuff together, and we've made a lot of mistakes together. And it's this build. I mean, we had help with this build, but it was interesting from start to finish, kind of like planning something and seeing it through. And it was tough. Like, I remember we got in this huge fight, I remember, because I'm like, I consider myself project manager. Just like, that's
Do you?
I just give myself that title for everything. And I'm trying to like make Pete fit into these parameters. And I remember I was like, yelling at a wall, basically no one's listening to me, and I'm like, the plumbing needs to be done by Friday, like this Friday it has to be done. And I remember you just looking at me being like, says who? Like, why? Like, you just pull up this arbitrary day. You don't know anything about plumbing. You don't know anything about who's coming. And so it's like...
Yeah, it's good though, because it keeps me on track.
Yeah, I need to be project manager.
No, it's a good working relationship. It's not always easy, but we complement each other well. One of the things that we're striving to do is to reduce our environmental footprint. In fact, it's really part of our mission and mandate is to steward this land. And these old buildings, of course, there are 2 downsides to them. One, they're inefficient, but the other thing is that they're 3 seasons. So this facility was a 3-season fishing lodge, basically. And winter here is remarkable. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a time to slow down, to relax. our objective is to be able to open this space to people for seasons, which means either upgrading the existing cabins, so winterizing them, or building new. So that really is, you know, the conversation that we go through. Because some of the cabins can be winterized, but some of them need to be replaced. And in replacing them, we end up with, you know, a highly efficient envelope. We get to use, you know, better heating, make better choices for heating. This one is heated with an air source heat pump, and there's a freestanding stove. So it's, you know, that's part of our journey, is trying to balance, you know, reusing versus replacing. We do have another winterized cabin, that's Sumac. It's a beautiful 3-bedroom cabin. So that was existing. We did a top to bottom huge renovation project on it, winterized it. And if you like, we can show you around that on another video. And right now we are in the final planning phase for phase 2 of our retreat center build. So this is a big construction project that will be break ground in the spring.
Yeah, so let us know if that's something that you're interested in. Like, if you want to follow along that build, we'd love to share it. Leave a comment down below and tell us if that's something that you might be interested in. So thank you so much for listening and tuning in, and we'll see you again.